Hi everyone, I'm Lou Withers, and I'm sort of known for different mixed medias and backgrounds and messy art and craft stuff. So today I'm just going to do a really simple card, only because there's times when we need these cards and there are times when you know that you can get messy and all that, but this is a really simple card and this is all we need. I'm just going to need some water. I'm going to need the stamp of the choice that I need. It's a distress ink, so it'll be better. I've got a paintbrush, I've got the stamp I want to use. I love the stamp platform, and I've got two pieces of card. The first one is, let me get this measurement for you, it's a 7x7 inch, right? So 7x7 square, just a craft card. I love the colour because if you think the colour goes really well with the vintage photo, and at the moment I'm really into the vintage photo. And this was another card that I had, but the inside, this, I mucked up the other side, so I'm not wasting it. And this is, let me measure it, it's a 5.5 inch square. So when you put the two together, it's, you know, you've got a really classy card. Now you could do lots more with it, and you probably will at home. It's just a really simple birthday card, any sort of card, but this is going to be birthday. And I'm using the hydrangea from the studio light, because it's, I don't know, it's just absolutely caught my eye, and it's been one of my favourites. Now this stamp you can use any way you want, so you can use it centrally like that. I quite like the diagonal, because then I don't have to be perfect and get it straight in the middle. So all I'm going to do is get my stamp platform and then put my stamp in the corner where I need it. This is really handy because it's got a lip there. I do like it. Do you know, I didn't think I would be into these platforms, but I don't do without them now. Because they just make, because I'm not a great stamper, I'm a bit impatient, I tend to sort of take the pad off too soon, and then I'm left with like a bit and bob sort of stamping. So you put the stamp where you want it on your paper. Now that's not quite right because it's more loaded one end, so if you can try and get it centrally, that's good. Press down. Yours will be cleaner like that so it sticks. I'm using distress ink, not the oxide, only because if I use the oxide I'll get a different effect. This I want to get an old vintage, you know, like a chic sort of vintage rose look. Now I think that moved then, but hey-ho. Right, a bit more there. You wouldn't believe I'd be able to do that, would you? Look at that. So take it out. Take your stamp and clean your stamp, because what I do is forget to clean my stamp, and then when I position it, it sort of registers and then on somewhere I don't want it. So I've got my colour there, I've got my ink. I'm just going to, a little bit of water on the side. You can add a little bit more of this yet, but I'm not going to do it yet, and all I'm going to do is just, if no one's looking, just clean your paintbrush on your trousers, but don't tell anyone that, because you know what I'm like, terrible like that. And all I'm going to do is what we call negative painting. Now there's a reason for this. What you do is you paint around the object, and that means that if you fluff it like I've just done, doesn't matter, but you're actually making the card look vintage, and then the actual stamp itself pop out. Now you might find that like this is what we call an absorbent card, so you're not going to get a lot of the transfer of colour come out. Now if that's the case, just put a tiny bit of the colour just there and just show you. You see, it's just a little bit of colour, hardly any, a hint of a tint as we call it, and then just bring that in as well, and that will just colour it. So I'll just show you what I'm going to do. You go all the way around, you damp it down, bring the colour out, the water out, sorry, and then get the little bit of colour and just introduce that very near the top. Now the reason you put the top water on first, sorry, the layer of water, is so that you're able to just blend it out, and then I'm just going to do that and blend it out, and you can see it blends out quite nicely then. But you don't have to be neat. You just go into the edge of where you was. And you just bring in that tiny bit of colour in. Now, there's something about the simplicity of cards like this that I keep going back and again, and it's just so simple, so elegant, and like I said, it can be for any occasion, and you can change the colour according to what it is, or you know who it's for. They might have a favourite colour, it might be pink, might be green, but you're just using very limited resources. Now it will dry very differently, because at the moment parts of it are wet, and I can just show you, you can see where it's ruckled, and that means it's wet. You can just see it sort of sink through, but when this dries you will get a very different finish on it. It will look a lot softer and a lot neater, and not so much like a line. Now, top tip, start with less and add more, because it's hard to go the other way. It's hard to then take it away. In fact, it's near impossible, because this is really absorbent card. And if you want to know how to find out about absorbent card, always have a little test piece or the back, something like that, and try it there first, and then you'll get a knowledge. And if you've got a lot of it, you can make like a little, I've got at home where I've sort of wrote down everything and what it's like, and absorbency and colours and stuff. So I'm just going to put a little bit more, do it a bit faster. I quite like it. Don't forget that bit in the middle there, because that'll be very dark. Just move it round. And the last bit. Now if you really want to sort of take it one step further, those seasoned crafters as we call them, what I would do is maybe get my ink and just distress the edge around here, but I'm not going to worry about that. Just on one edge, go a little bit darker, and the reason for that is because it'll be where the light's falling. So I'm just adding a little bit more. Just a tiny bit more water, tiny bit more ink, and I'm just going to create a wash. Now if you was at home, you know, when you had a lot of brushes, you could sort of choose a bigger brush. You could spray it direct if you want, and just wash it out. That's all you need to do, so that when you just put this on your card, it's nice and soft. So I'm more or less done now. I'm going to just take time to sort of carry on. There's my card, all done.